Young and the Restless comings and goings. 3 stunning returns in new YNR episodes. Young and the Restless comings and goings predict 3 big cast changes as they continue filming new episodes of the CBS Sudzer. All 3 characters were on YNR within the last few years, but one requires a recast. So, let's dig in and look at who we've heard is in talks for a YNR comeback. Young and the Restless comings and goings. Is crazy Patty Williams coming back? We've heard from a source at CBS Daytime that YNR's looking to bring back Patty Williams, Stacey Hayduke, for another go-round. Patty Cakes is always a nutty bunch of fun, and last time around, she was with Ian Ward, Ray Wise. Then, the madman shipped Patty off to Paris. But it's an excellent time for Young and the Restless to invite Patty Williams back to GC. Of course, Hayduke was over at Days in a Roll, but she exited recently. Plus, they won't resume filming at NBC until September, so she's available to reprise her past role as Patty Williams. So, will Patty come back? It could be because there are many changes ahead in the new Young and the Restless episodes. And the possible return we'll discuss next has a clear tie to Patty Williams. If this guy comes back, then it makes sense what we've heard about the CBS Sudzer talking about a Patty comeback. YNR comings and goings hint Danny Romalotti return. Our source behind the scenes said that Michael Damian's in talks to come back to Young and the Restless. It's been quite a few years since Danny Romalotti was in Genoa City, and his return could shake up things. We've also heard couples break up and shake up soon on YNR. So, if Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, is single and Patty Williams returns, then a Danny comeback is explosive on Young and the Restless. Given Danny's tumultuous past with both, that could be a lot of fun. Plus, if Danny Romalotti Sr. is back, maybe Danny Jr. will come back too. For now, we're awaiting confirmation on whether the CBS soap will land Damian, but there are hints. The Young and the Restless alum's been active with fans lately and retweeting comments about Danny Romalotti's return and his past with cricket. So, fingers crossed on Danny. Recast Dylan McAvoy on Young and the Restless? The third and perhaps most shocking YNR casting change we've heard is about Dylan McAvoy. Steve Burton last played the role, but he's committed to General Hospital now. So, we heard they might bring back Dylan, son of Nikki and Paul, with a recast in the role. Young and the Restless did well with a recast of Mark Grossman as Adam Newman. So, maybe they'll work magic and hire a new face for Dylan McAvoy. Bringing back Dylan would be interesting for a couple of reasons. First, Dylan's ex-wife Sharon has cancer. Second, on Young and the Restless, Dylan McAvoy has a past with Chelsea Newman, Melissa Claire Egan, who might be single soon given all the split chatter. Wait to see, but recasting Dylan would be a thrilling change. And that's what we heard the network told YNR to do, shake up the plots. Check its soap dirt often for the Young and the Restless comings and goings news. The gates of Genoa City rattle. Young and the Restless comings and goings. 3 stunning returns that change everything in new YNR episodes. Genoa City, brace yourself. The velvet curtain of Genoa City is being ripped open, not by the usual wind of corporate espionage, but by a tempest of epic proportions. Fans of the Young and the Restless are about to witness a seismic shift that will redefine family alliances, reignite legendary rivalries, and shatter the lives of beloved characters. We're not talking about a simple guest stint or a holiday drop-in. We're talking about 3 absolute powerhouses returning to the canvas, each with a secret agenda and a backstory that will rock the very foundations of the Abbott, Newman, and Winters dynasties. Forget everything you think you know about Genoa City's current landscape. The battle for Chancellor Winters, the Victor-Jack Eternal War, and the ongoing saga of the younger generation are about to collide head-on with the ghosts of the past. These aren't just returns, they are weapons of mass emotional destruction. The first shockwave, Jill's new ally is her oldest enemy. We've all been on the edge of our seats watching the latest chapter of the Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, and Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, corporate showdown, which has been intensified by Kane's mysterious alias, Aristotle Dumas. The return of the formidable matriarch, Jill Abbott, Jess Walton, was already promised to clean up her son's chaotic mess. But the real shocker is who she brings with her, Colin Atkinson, Tristan Rogers. Sources deep within the CBS set whisper that Jill's return is far more than a settle the boys visit. It's a desperate attempt to bring her long-absconded, charmingly criminal ex-husband back to Genoa City to combat the even greater threat posed by Kane's shadowy global network. But wait, Didn't Jill put Colin in jail?
Yes.
And that's where the twist lies. The jaw-dropping reveal: Colin is back, not as a prisoner, but as a reluctant consultant for Jill. He possesses the insider knowledge of international crime syndicates that not even Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, can touch. The ultimate betrayal? Jill is using her ex-husband's criminal contacts to get dirt on Kane, whose recent ruthless actions have convinced her that the man claiming to be her son is far more dangerous than she realized. This unholy alliance between Jill and the man who has betrayed her countless times promises a volatile mix of genuine affection, explosive distrust, and cloak-and-dagger maneuvers that will make the Chancellor Winter's boardroom feel like a war zone. Will Colin's loyalty to Jill finally trump his desire for a Grand Khan, or is this just his latest, most elaborate grift? Billy is already furious with his mother for working with Kane. How will he react when he learns she's now partnering with the ultimate con artist? The tension is a 5-alarm fire. The second earthquake, a face from the past, threatens Nick and Sharon. The story of the autumn has been the terrifying, mysterious trauma surrounding Mariah Copeland, Cameron Grimes, and the devastating car accident involving Noah Newman, Lucas Adams. Nick, Joshua Morrow, and Sharon Case, have been thrown into a living nightmare, desperately trying to uncover the truth behind Noah's injuries and Mariah's devastating secret. Get ready for a shock that connects all the dots of this horrifying mystery. The second stunning return is Ian Ward, Ray Wise. Yes, the cult leader, the man who nearly destroyed Sharon, Mariah, and Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, is back, and his return is not just for a quick menacing scene. He is reportedly the mastermind in the shadows, orchestrating the latest wave of psychological warfare on the Newman family. The terrifying twist: Ian Ward is directly connected to the trauma Mariah is suffering. The spoilers hint that the devastating truth Mariah is keeping involves a forced confrontation with Ian that has left her deeply scarred. Even more chilling is the rumor that the enigmatic newcomer, Sienna Bacall, Tamara Braun, who recently made her Hollywood debut, is not just a club owner with connections to Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, and the Winters family, but a former acolyte of Ian Ward, or perhaps even an agent he has dispatched to Genoa City. Nick and Sharon's desperate investigation into Noah's car crash and Mariah's disappearance leads them down a rabbit hole right back to Ian, forcing them into a desperate, life-or-death situation where the only way to save their children is to face their worst nightmare. Ian Ward's return is poised to be one of the most suspenseful and terrifying storylines in recent YNR history, reminding us all that in Genoa City, evil never truly dies, it only waits for the perfect moment to strike. The third cataclysm: the Phoenix rises, and she's on a mission. Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, has been a constant source of drama, currently playing a dangerous game of corporate flirtation with Kane/Aristotle. But the final and perhaps most earth-shattering return will throw a wrench not just in Phyllis's plans, but into the lives of the entire Abbott family: Ashley Abbott, Eileen Davidson. Ashley's returns are always a delight, but this time it's a full-on guns-blazing comeback that throws down the gauntlet to her brother Jack, Peter Bergman, and sister-in-law Diane, Susan Walters. The vicious power play. Spoilers suggest that Ashley has been tracking Kane's moves from Europe and is returning with a personal and corporate vendetta. Ashley's return isn't just about family, it's about reclaiming her power. She is reportedly aligning herself with a surprising faction in Genoa City to launch an all-out takeover bid for Jabot. The target is not just the company, it's to humble Jack and destroy Diane's fragile standing. But here is the shocking complication: Ashley's return involves a fierce and unexpected collision with Phyllis. The two women, often allies in their mutual distrust of Diane, will find themselves at direct odds over Kane/Aristotle. Phyllis is drawn to his wealth and ruthlessness, while Ashley sees him as a dangerous tool to be used and then discarded. The inevitable battle between these two legendary divas, over a man, a company, and their standing in Genoa City, will be a spectacle of epic proportions. Expect catfights, backstabbing, and a war room drama that will leave Jabot utterly decimated. The unthinkable conclusion. These three stunning returns, Colin Atkinson, Ian Ward, and Ashley Abbott, guarantee that the coming months on The Young and the Restless will be a runaway train of shocking revelations. Victor and Jack may find themselves in the unthinkable position of having to work together against the Kane, Colin, Ian threats. Sharon and Nick face the terrifying possibility of losing another child. And the battle for Jabot and Chancellor Winters will reach a fever pitch with Ashley and Jill re-entering the corporate arena. Hold on to your hats. Genoa City. The storm has arrived, and nothing will ever be radio silent after Chris Hell Staw's mom dies, YNR alum says he's happy and lucky. Days of Our Lives star, Chrishell Stawes, aka Jordan Ridgway, just lost her mom, and Justin Hartley, her soon-to-be ex-husband, offered no condolences online. Instead, the young and the restless actor recently said how great his life is without her. Days of Our Lives. Jordan Ridgway actress Chrishell Stawes loses both parents to lung cancer. It's been a bad year and a half for Chrishell Stawes. Last year, in April 2019, her father, Jeffrey Stawes, passed away from lung cancer. Then, in November 2019, former Adam Newman actor Justin Hartley blindsided Chrishell with divorce papers. Plus, Justin said they split in July 2019, but Chrishell maintains they were together up until he shocked her by filing a divorce in November of 2019. But, the young and the restless and Days of Our Lives actors wound up in negotiations to settle the split, and it'll be final soon. Then, in February 2020, doctors diagnosed Chrishell Stawes' mom, Renee Stawes, with the same lung cancer that killed her father. Even worse, the Days of Our Lives actress couldn't see her mom regularly at the hospice because of COVID-19 restrictions. Chrishell shared her mother's passing on July 18, 2020. Young and the Restless alumnus Justin Hartley ignores wife's loss on social media. Last week, Justin Hartley met with Chrishell Stawes and lawyers in a conference to iron out the final details of their divorce. Sadly, even after he filed the divorce, she said she truly loves him still. Last week, Chrishell asked to have her name legally changed back from Chrishell Hartley to Stawes. This all came while Days of Our Lives alum Chrishell faced her mother Renee's last painful days struggling with lung cancer. Chrishell said it was absolutely heartbreaking seeing Renee Stawes, her mom, take her last labored breath. But she said she was at peace, knowing her mother wasn't in pain anymore. When Chrishell Stawes shared her tribute to her mother, fellow soap actors from Young and the Restless, Days of Our Lives, Bold and the Beautiful and other shows shared condolences on her loss. But noticeably absent is any comment or acknowledgement from Justin Hartley on his mother-in-law's tragic death. Instead, in an interview published 2 days prior, Justin said he was a happy guy and sleeps like a baby. Justin Hartley said he doesn't have anything on my mind, and said he's very, very lucky post-split. The photo below has them looking happy days before Justin served divorce papers out of the blue. YNR actor radio silent online on wife losing her mother. Looking at Days of Our Lives and Selling Sunset's Chrishell Stawes post about her mom, we see well wishes from Young and the Restless stars Melissa Ordway, Greg Ricart, Jason Thompson, Tracy Bregman, Melissa Claire Egan, and others. But nothing from YNR alum Justin Hartley. Chrishell Stawes' Days of Our Lives co-stars Robert Scott Wilson, Camila Banus, and others shared kind thoughts and prayers too. Soap fans, reality stars, and other actors offered comforting words to Chrishell. However, you can see Justin's online promoting his show. This is us, but that's it. Let's hope that Justin Hartley reached out to Chrishell Stawes privately to offer his condolences on her loss. After all, Renee Stawes was his mother-in-law. However, a public show of support from Justin to Chrishell would be nice to see. As of now, there's none. We'll update here if he speaks up on the loss. We send our kindest thoughts to Chrishell Stawes as she struggles with the loss of her mother, Renee Stawes, a little more than a year after she lost her dad, Jeffrey Stawes, to the same awful illness. Also, look for Chrishell as Jordan Ridgway this week on Duel as she briefly returns to the NBC soap. Get Days of Our Lives and Young and the Restless news and updates every day from Soap Dirt. Justin Hartley radio silent after Chrishell Stawes' mom dies. YNR alum says he's happy and lucky. A wave of controversy. The silence that roared louder than words. In the often turbulent world of Hollywood relationships, where public perception and private reality constantly clash, the dramatic and sudden split of fan-favorite couple Justin Hartley and Chrishell Stawes remains a captivating and contentious topic. Their divorce, famously initiated by a text message from Hartley, was laid bare for the world on the Netflix reality show Selling Sunset, turning a private tragedy into a public spectacle. Now, a stunning revelation regarding the aftermath of a profound personal loss for Chrishell has reignited the fury of fans and critics alike, painting a stark picture of the depths of the fractured relationship. The news is nothing short of shocking. Justin Hartley, the This Is Us and the Young and the Restless alum, reportedly remained completely radio silent after Chrishell Stawes' mother, Renee Stawes, tragically succumbed to cancer mere months after her father's death from the same illness. Compounding the controversy, this alleged lack of support coincided with Hartley's public statements about his own life, where he described himself as happy and lucky. The heartbreak of loss and the sting of silence. Restless Staw's journey through grief in 2019 and 2020 was a devastating double blow. Her father, Jeff Staws, passed away from lung cancer in April 2019. Just over a year later, in July 2020, her mother, Renee, lost her own courageous battle with the same merciless disease. This period of unimaginable personal tragedy ran parallel to the very public implosion of her 2-year marriage to Justin Hartley. Hartley filed for divorce in November 2019, claiming a separation date a few months prior, a claim Restless vehemently disputed, stating she was completely blindsided by the filing, learning the devastating news via text message just 45 minutes before it became public. The news of Renee Staw's passing on July 18, 2020, was met with an outpouring of love and support from Restless' friends, colleagues, and the wider celebrity community, including many of her former co-stars from her soap opera days on The Young and the Restless and Days of Our Lives. Yet, one name was conspicuously absent from the public messages of condolences: Justin Hartley. While a person's decision to offer condolences privately is their own, the subsequent revelation that he allegedly offered no public or private support became the final, brutal cut for many followers of the star-crossed couple saga. The accusation: a heartless oversight? The alleged radio silence from Hartley comes from Restless herself, who would later confirm the heartbreaking detail in her book, Under Construction, because living my best life took a little work. In her memoir, Staws shared a poignant moment where her sister questioned if Hartley had reached out after their mother's death. Restless' response was a heartbreaking acceptance of reality. She said he hadn't, and that she wasn't expecting him to, but that it was okay because Mom never liked him, anyway. This revelation, though shared months after the fact, put a spotlight on the final, cold chapter of their relationship. The public perception was already strained due to the manner of the divorce filing, a text message that became infamous. The reported failure to offer even a simple private message of sympathy during a time of such profound, shared familial grief cemented a narrative of callous indifference in the eyes of many. For a man who was once married to Restless and had spent years with her and her family, the silence spoke volumes, fueling the belief that the divorce was not just an amicable parting of ways, but a deeply hurtful and one-sided severing of ties. The counter-narrative: happy and lucky amidst the storm. Adding a layer of jarring insensitivity to the situation were Justin Hartley's own public comments in the period surrounding his ex-wife's grief. In interviews published close to the time of Restless' mother's death, the YNR alum spoke about his life post-split, painting a picture of contentment and fulfillment. He was quoted as being a happy guy who sleeps like a baby, stating he didn't have anything on my mind and felt very, very lucky. While these quotes may have been given in a general context about his life and career trajectory, their timing, juxtaposed against the news of Restless' double loss and his alleged silence, was devastatingly poor. To an outside observer, it created a stark, unforgiving contrast. One person dealing with profound, double tragedy and the other seemingly unfazed, publicly exclaiming his happiness and luck. This perception, whether entirely accurate or simply a case of ill-timed public relations, led to a storm of criticism. Fans argued that regardless of the divorce, a shared history, a former wife's unimaginable pain, should have warranted at least a moment of human empathy, a single message of support. The unconventional mother-in-law, a detail of irony. Restless' own words in her book added a layer of complex irony to the situation. Her admission that her mother never even liked Justin, because she was not won over by someone's celebrity, and just cared about how someone treated her daughter, offered a strange form of comfort and perhaps vindication. This detail suggests that Renee Staws was keenly attuned to the dynamics of her daughter's relationship and, in the end, her skepticism was tragically confirmed by the alleged lack of basic human courtesy. In a heartbreaking twist, even in death, Restless found solace in the idea that her mother's independent judgment had not been swayed by her ex-husband's fame. The lasting fallout, a divorce that continues to define. The story of Justin Hartley's radio silence is more than just celebrity gossip. It's a profound narrative about closure, respect, and the boundaries of human kindness after a relationship ends. For Restless Staws, a woman who had already endured the pain of a text message divorce, her mother's death was a deep, personal trial. The decision by her ex-husband to allegedly offer no comfort during this time has left an indelible mark on their public story. While Justin Hartley has since moved on and remarried his former YNR co-star Sophia Pernas, the shadow of his split from Restless continues to follow him. The shocking news of his alleged indifference during a time of ultimate grief serves as a chilling reminder that in the face of human tragedy, sometimes the simplest act of acknowledgement is the most powerful measure of a person's character. For Chris Hell, and for the legion of fans who have followed her difficult journey, the silence remains the loudest accusation of all.